What's for Thanksgiving Dinner? Another happy book by Sally Huss. On a cold, crisp day in late November, a duck sat on the edge of a pond and tried to remember. What was it that she loved to eat for Thanksgiving dinner? Oh yes, it wasn't anything that would make her slimmer. It was delicious, nutritious, greasy, fat goose. Aha, now she remembered. She liked that goose in a moose. Across the pond sat another fine feathered fellow, who sat with his head in the clouds, thinking of yellow. He was dreaming of Thanksgiving dinner, and thinking of something that would make him thinner. Duck, a fine roasted duck, was what he had on mind, but where was that duck he needed to find? Not far away, not far from the pond, sat a turkey thinking of his Thanksgiving dinner that he couldn't decide on. It could be chicken, it could be peas, it could be potatoes, it could be cheese. Oh well, he'd figure it out. Then, the next moment, he heard a shout. A duck and a goose were running past the heather. What were they doing, those two birds of a feather? Just then, the goose's foot hit a rock, flipping it up in the air. "Duck! Duck!" yelled the goose, with care that was rare. The duck did as he was told. The rock hit the ground. "Thank you," said the duck, as the goose turned around. "By the way, why were you chasing me?" the goose kindly asked. "I wanted goose for Thanksgiving dinner, but you were running too fast." "I believe duck is more traditional," replied the goose, smacking his lips and letting his own wishes loose. With that they turned around and ran in the other direction, goose chasing the duck. He thought he'd make his holiday dinner selection. Just then, as before, the duck's foot hit a rock. Now it was the goose's head that was going to get quite a knock. "Duck! Goose!" called the wary duck. The goose ducked in time, and they both stopped running amok. "Why were you chasing me?" the duck slyly asked. "I was planning on duck for Thanksgiving dinner, but you were running too fast." "We are more alike than not," the goose said. "Yes," said the duck. Each had saved each other's head. "Isn't Thanksgiving dinner about eating turkey and dressing?" With that, the two looked at the turkey, who was nearby resting. Up hopped the turkey, and off he ran. He could see that the two birds had their own dinner plan. Then his foot hit a rock, and up in the air it did a flip. He called out as he righted himself, trying not to slip. "Duck! Duck! Duck! Goose!" the turkey shouted without a warning, and saved the other two birds on that November morning. "Thanks," said the two, as they faced the third, while feeling a little bit guilty and a little absurd. "But why were you chasing me?" the turkey wanted to hear. "We wanted turkey for Thanksgiving dinner, and you were so near." "Thanksgiving," explained the turkey, trying to save his own skin, "is about pumpkin, and pumpkin not from a tin. It must be fresh pumpkin, like that one in the pumpkin patch." With that, the three got together and made a great pumpkin snatch. Lugging the pumpkin back to the turkey's home, they were glad that they weren't doing it alone. "We could boil it, we could broil it, we could roast it, or toast it," said the goose. "No, no, that will not do, nor would cutting it up and making a stew. But making a dessert, that would be new." So they got the sugar, cinnamon, and spice, then added some milk and eggs to make it nice. It became a big fat vat of mashed up pumpkin stuff. After a few stirs, they figured they stirred it enough. They poured it in a pastry shell and baked it very slowly and very well. Then they hoped for the best. This became known as the first known pumpkin pie test. Superb, sublime, let's sit down to feed. And that's how they made a Thanksgiving dinner on which they all agreed. Each gave thanks for the pie they were about to eat. For not having been eaten, this was the real treat. And the pumpkin gave thanks for the new shape he was in, giving his blessings to all of them with a big spicy grin. So now you know what it means to be thankful on Thanksgiving Day. There is really nothing to add, nothing more to say. Except remember, when dessert is served, be sure to be grateful for all your blessings, including your plateful. The end, but not the end of being grateful.